The Middle East is currently witnessing a military storm, the likes of which we haven't seen in decades. Operation Epic Fury has entered a devastating new phase, and the maps are being redrawn as we speak. Here is the raw summary of the chaos before you see the footage. The 15th wave. Israel and the US have just launched their 15th massive wave of strikes. The goal? Total destruction of Iran's military infrastructure. The IDF claims they've just wiped out a secret command bunker in Tehran, a facility that was allegedly housing 50 fighter jets meant for a massive counterattack. Total air dominance. U.S. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth is sending a clear message to the world. America has unmatched skill and an unlimited stockpile. In just the last 72 hours, B-2 stealth bombers have pounded nearly 200 targets deep inside Iran, dropping 2,000-pound bunker buster bombs to level underground missile sites. The Iranian retaliation. Iran isn't staying silent. They've launched waves of kamikaze drones and Khorramshahr ballistic missiles targeting Israeli air bases and even American forces stationed in Kuwait and Iraq. While Saudi Arabia and Qatar are intercepting these threats, the regional tension is at a boiling point. The Trump Doctrine. In a move that has shocked diplomats, President Trump has declared that he wants to be personally responsible for picking Iran's next supreme leader. He's already ruled out the late leader's son, calling him a lightweight, and says he wants a leader who brings harmony, a claim that essentially signals a push for regime change. Is this the beginning of a new era in the Middle East? Or are we on the brink of a much larger war? Please watch the full video to see the actual footage of the strikes and the full statements from the White House and the IRGC. You need to see this to believe it. And for the most explosive international updates, hit that button and subscribe to RobinNewz right now. Let's roll the footage.
And Bahrain say that they intercepted attacks overnight. U.S. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth says that the U.S. mission in Iran is progressing rapidly and says the United States has ample military supplies and is prepared to continue its campaign for as long as necessary.
In just days of Operation Epic Fury, you and your team have delivered nothing short of devastating, precise strikes, taking out the better part of Iran's navy, making it combat ineffective, neutralizing missile sites and launchers, and establishing total dominance over the skies we fly over and seas we fly over. Our forces are executing with unmatched skill, and the mission is advancing decisively. Iran is hoping that we cannot sustain this, which is a really bad miscalculation for the IRGC in Iran. You see, there's no shortage of American will here. We remember and honor our fallen, those 6 that we will soon welcome at Dover, who gave everything.
In just the last 72 hours, America's bomber force has struck nearly 200 targets deep inside of Iran, including around Tehran. And in just the last hour, U.S. B-2 bombers dropped dozens of 2,000-pound penetrator bombs targeting deeply buried ballistic missile launchers. Notably, we have also struck Iran's equivalent of Space Command, which degrades their ability to threaten Americans. Then, if I just look back over the last 24 hours of the operation compared to where we were at its start, ballistic missile attacks have decreased by 90% since day one.
The Air Force and Navy of the Army of the Islamic Republic of Iran launched kamikaze drones toward the occupied territories, targeting the Ramat David Air Base and the Meron radar site in the occupied lands. Additionally, the location of American terrorist forces stationed at a camp in Kuwait was another target of the Navy's offensive drones. The Army's ground force, continuing its operations against American terrorists stationed in Iraqi Kurdistan, targeted their headquarters in Erbil with its drones. Meanwhile, the Aerospace Force of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, in the 19th wave of Operation True Promise 4 with the code phrase Hassan ibn Ali, launched Khorramshahr ballistic missiles equipped with heavy warheads toward Ben Gurion Airport. The ground force of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, during the 19th wave of the operation, also targeted the positions where American terrorist forces were stationed in the Kurdistan region of Iraq by launching kamikaze drones.
Earlier on, after co-directing the operation that eliminated the late Khamenei, U.S. President Donald Trump has declared that he wants to be directly responsible for selecting Tehran's next supreme leader. Speaking to Axios from the White House, Trump ruled out Mojtaba Khamenei, the late supreme leader's son and a potential successor, called him a lightweight and said that Washington wants a leader who will bring harmony and peace to Iran. Let's hear him.
I built the military and rebuilt it in my first term, and we're using it more than I'd like to use it, to be honest with you. But when we used it, we found out it certainly did work. When we look at Venezuela, when we look at the first attack, Midnight Hammer, in Iran, which really set the stage for what we're doing right now. It's been pretty amazing. And I'm once again calling on all members of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, the military and the police, to lay down their arms. They're only going to be killed. And now is the time to stand up for the Iranian people and help take back your country. You're going to have a chance after all these years to take back your country. Accept immunity. We'll give you immunity. And we'll be giving you really the right side of history, because that's what it is. So you'll be perfectly safe with total immunity, or you'll face absolutely guaranteed death. And I don't want to see that. They don't want to see it either. We also urge Iranian diplomats around the world to request asylum and to help us shape a new and better Iran with great potential. It's a country with great potential, as much better future for Iran. It's now beginning. It's going to be, I think, a great future, and the United States will ensure that whoever leads the country next, Iran will not threaten America or its neighbors, Israel, anybody. If you look at what happened, they had missiles aimed at all of these other countries, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, UAE, many others that weren't really involved very much, and they had missiles aimed. Well, they were aimed there long before this ever started. They were going after the entire Middle East, and then we came along. We blew up their party. So we have phenomenal people. I want to thank all of the people that have been involved. Marco, you've been doing a fantastic job.